Lovely. Okay, so we'll do our usual warm-up. Let's get our body ready. So we are, I'm going to mute you all first, otherwise I'm going to have you all on the recording, which I'm sure you don't want. Mute everybody, there we go. Perfect. Right, so let's get ourselves ready for class. So I'm going to do a lot of legs and shoulders, opening up of shoulders today. There's a little bit of work on the hands and knees, but we'll just add different options for those who don't want to put too much weight in the shoulders and the wrists. So let's get the feet right. So we want them facing forward, not turned in or out, and let's lift those toes, let them really spread out into the floor. We can have a little sway side to side, a little sway back and forwards, even round in a circle, just letting those toes separate and feel really nice and planted. And the knees are over the ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, pulling up nice and tall. Soft knees, that doesn't mean they're bent, they're just not locked out, so your fronts of your muscles and your legs are relaxed. It's slightly soft. And we just want to take a nice deep breath in and out through the mouth, in through the nose, and thinking of your tummy and your diaphragm sort of around your rib cages expanding when you breathe in, and when you breathe out, you're squeezing that tummy in, drawing the belly button back towards the spine, as if you were getting ready, if you thought someone was going to hit you in the tummy and you tense up. That's that feeling we want. That's going to engage our TVA muscles, which will sit under here, and we're going to zip up the pelvic floor muscles if we're holding in a wee. So a few more breaths, take them a little bit longer than you would usual, but the same length in as out. Really squeeze that tummy and pelvic floor on the out breath. One more lovely deep long breath. Wonderful. Then still stick with the squeezing of the tummy, the out breath through from the tummy up the throat rather than just through the mouth, but just regular length. Let's tuck that chin in on the out breath. Lift the chin in on the in breath. So we're not throwing the head back and forward, we're just lengthening the back of the neck, lengthening the front of the neck. Let's have those palms forward, let's lift them up and down and up and down. Let's swing and then let's come all the way down, squeeze the tummy, bottom backwards, swing those arms down. So any back issues, just don't bend so far and just make it nice and gentle. And release, lovely. So let's circle our nose around, warming up this neck. I'm going to do another little exercise. I think I did it with you, mind you, I wouldn't have did it with you last week, you weren't here, were we? So I've got a few new exercises and a little bit of a different warm-up that I'm going to add in, which is to get the wrists warm. Let's look right and left, and it's going to get the shoulders warm, and the knees and the ankles and the feet all in one go. So nice sort of fluid movement. Lovely. Let's just continue with the neck, ear to shoulder, and again draw these hands down and just feel yourself growing but lengthen. So it's just a very gentle stretch. You're not trying to bend your neck in half. Thinking of your posture like you're leaning against a wall, so your bottom's against the wall, your shoulder blades and your head, so we're nice and tall, still keeping the feet hip width apart. Let's lean over and hold with the thumb and forefinger, grab the ear, don't really pinch it, but just sort of feel yourself lengthen, and then with two fingers we just stretch over. This other hand pushes down. It's going to be so nice to see real people next week, not just be talking to myself and small pictures of you. It'd be great, we can use the balls, that'd be nice. Maybe we'll just do a normal Pilates class. Grab the thing here and tip, but we'll add the balls as a little bit of as well, maybe to get back into it slowly, because we haven't been on a ball for a while. It probably will make a difference. And release, lovely. So let's do a little few heel lifts. Just lift the heels and lower. So we really want to be mindful of these ankles, they don't roll in or out. So make it small, really squeeze the tummy, focus on something. lift a bit higher and lower, a little bend in the knees, lift a bit higher, bend in the knees. I'm just turning sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to add a squat to this. As usual, you squat, your bottom is going straight back, so you don't want to squat and bend forwards. A lot of stress on the knees. So your knees almost stay where they are, bottom is back. Also, don't overarch. So think of tucking the tailbone under. So your spine is straight, that's what we want. And then we're going to add arms to that. So, starting off, lift the heels, lift the arms, breathe in, and come down. Lift the heels, lift the arms, come down. Lift the heels, circle the arms, a little challenge of the balance. And on the way down, we add a squat. Reach forward with the fingers, reach back with the bottom, and then we squeeze and come up to standing. So that's the full thing. Lift the arms, lift the heels, circle. And if you've got any ankle problems or you're finding it too much, just don't lift the heels. Just lift the arms, give us a circle, give us a squat, and squeeze coming back up. Or if you want, lift the heels, circle, and squat. So the weight is in your heels. And lift, squeeze the bottom on the way up. And lift, and down, and squat. And lift, squeeze the bum, and one more lift. This is warming up the shoulders, getting that heart rate up a bit as well. Hold it here. So get a really good squat position, squeeze the bottom, palms forward, lift them up, palms down, squeeze them back. So we warm up the arms, lift them up, breathe in, and back. Breathe in, and out. Squeeze, squat a bit lower, squeeze the tummy in. Think of tucking the tailbone under. See my chin is tucked in. Try not to lift the chin, keep it down, even if you're looking up. Use breath. Twist those wrists so they're warming up. Then I'm going to change the arm position, but keep that squat if we can. Take the arms out to the side, palms up, palms down. Squeeze the shoulders up, squeeze the tummy up, bottom back, up. We can do it. Breathe. 2 more. Then we're holding the squat for the last little bit. Arms in front, clasp them together. Just lift the heels. If you can't do both, one at a time. Lift and lower. Shoulders down, lift and lower. Lift. So you don't change the knees. They stay the same. You just lift the heels. So you're having to balance in a squat. Lovely. 4 more. Squeeze the tummy. 1, 2. Use that breath. Pelvic floor and your tummy being squeezed is really going to help here because it's balanced. 1 more. And push up. Ooh. Felt that one. Let's have a little circle of the feet. And a nice little warm up there. Lovely. So I'm going to take the feet a bit wider and I'll turn the feet out. Just a little bit again for the hips, opening them up. Bending down, lifting up. So this squat is more like you're leaning against the wall and you're just sliding down it. So there's not so much of a forward bend. So plie if you like. Again, the knees are over the ankles, so you don't want to have your feet too close, otherwise you're going to be like a frog. And again, it's that pressure on the knee joint. So imagine no feet turned out. Make sure your knees following the foot and now the arms. Squeeze, again, push the knees back, squeeze the bottom up. This is all waking up the glutes as well. And some arms, nice and gentle. Leave it here. Gonna reach over. Reach. And centre. And reach. And centre. Do it with straight legs. And reach. And centre. If you need support, hands on your hips, keep it small. Or maybe one hand, one on the hip. 1 in the air, whichever way works for you. Let's do 1 more each. Wonderful stuff. Bring those feet back in. Good. So I want us to come down to the floor in a minute. Let's just open up these chests a little bit more. So we've got our arms, nice 90-degree angle, and they're wedged in at the sides if you're holding a newspaper. Feet parallel, knees soft, squeeze the tummy in, open the arms. So these open up the chest. So you're feeling a stretch across here, squeezing the shoulder blade back. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, close. On that out breath, pull the belly back to the spine, squeeze. Even though you're just standing still, you can still be really working those tummy muscles. TVA, the transverse abdominis, it's the sort of muscles that sit underneath, the ones that are right, they kind of link to the pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze and open. Let's add on a reach. Breathe in, stretch those fingers. Squeeze the arms down and close. Breathe in, squeeze, reach, squeeze and close. One more. Lovely. Our wrists are a little bit warm. We're going to continue giving them a bit of a warm up. Let's have the hands here and then put the hands down. So you've got a fist with your hands dropped and then take them to the side and centre. So it's a small little twist, but it's a nice stretch. You sort of feel it up the forearm. Twist, twist. A few more. Hold the last one. Now let's reverse, so just gentle stretching of the wrist and the forearm. And switch sides. Lovely, hands together, just a little figure of 8. And then a little bend and stretch of those fingers a little bit more and the wrists. And then stretch forward, stretch up, shrug the shoulder blades up. And then squeeze them down and then lift them up again. So it's really getting in your mind what shoulder blades are like when they're down. Then reverse, push your shoulders forwards, let them separate, push your hands forward, your palms are to you, chin is tucked in. Same thing, whilst we're here, shrug your shoulders up and then squeeze them down. And then release the hands, shrug the shoulders up, squeeze them down. Hands like this, so when we're on all fours, our shoulders tend to creep up. So even when you're on all fours, you're squeezing them down, and that's the position we want to think of. Lovely, let's take it to the edge of the mat. We're going to do our roll downs. And once we get a few in, I shall flip the camera around so you can see me sideways. So imagine we're leaning against the wall, breathing in. Breathe out, chin down, bend the shoulders, scoop that belly and really squeeze it here. So any back issues, you're feeling your back a bit tender, have soft knees and just slide the hands down the knees, down the legs, and this is probably enough for you to support the back. If you've got no back issues, you can reach, breath in at the bottom, come back up. It's always, you're probably warmer today, it's the end of the day. It's always good to start with bent legs. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out, peel yourself off that wall. Shoulders, head, curl down. Remember, supporting. If you need it, really lean into your legs or hang. Maybe straighten the legs, fold in half. Eyes to the knees, squeeze that tummy, pull it back so you've got space. Pull it in so you can lean and reach forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, come back. Again, making sure you support with your hands on your thighs if you've got any back twinges at the moment. One more, breathe in. Breathe out, roll down. Just hanging at the bottom. And even if you've come down this far, you can still be supporting yourself. To be honest, if your legs are bent, you can probably lean on your legs. So you're getting a nice release of the neck, but you're supporting your weight. So that's always a good option if your back is not sure. And I'm just going to shake the head gently sideways and then nod. Then let's take the feet, knees down. Come into a child pose. I'm going to flip my camera. And stretch back. So even though child pose can feel like a lovely stretch for that lower back, which it is, but if you've got little back issues or a bit of a sore back, maybe this position, because if you think you're still bending the spine, even though it feels nice, you're still really bending it. And if you've got any sort of discs that are a bit tender, you're just squashing them. So always think of that If you've got no problems, you know, bottom back, reach as much as you can, but otherwise maybe just a little bit more gentle. Coming up on all fours. So we're going to do our cat-cow, which I like to start to refer to as cat tortoise, and it feels more like a tortoise. We remember when we were just standing up a minute ago and we had our arms out in front of us, shoulders down, so still think of that even though you're on the floor. We're going to tuck the tailbone, tilt, pull the abs up, round the back. Try and think of this bit more than the shoulders, otherwise you end up hunching the shoulders up. They have to stay back, it's just a pull up in the middle. Then reverse. And again, same thing, think of your back, or if you know you're somebody with a really arched lower back, over pushing this position is not going to help. When you've got a very arched lower back, you want to focus on this to tuck and tilt. Same thing if you've perhaps got a bit of a stiff back, then you want to focus more on the arch. But just listen to the body, tucking the head under gently. So shoulders back and that neck extends like a turtle coming out of its shell. Just feel a nice stretch in the tummy. Just don't over push these positions. Breathe in. And one more. Come back. Lovely. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of spine rotation here and add some planks. So I'm going to give options, because I know some of us have got wrists and maybe shoulder and back issues, because there's a lot of balance going on here. If you can wobbly, it's not, you don't want to be doing too much balance stuff with a bad back. So your options are on all fours, and you can just open up an arm. Let's all start with that, to be fair. If that feels too much on your back, bring it down where you've got a bit more support on the floor. But otherwise, we're opening up here. And I'm trying not to, you see, push the hips to keep them in. It's opening up the chest. I'm trying to twist the upper body. And make a mental note. One side you might think, oh, I can really see my hand, I'm pointing straight up. Other side might not get so far. I can definitely tell I'm tight on this side. My arm is not above the centre of my back. That is fine. One more. Nice and gentle. And again, if your arms and wrists hurt, take the weight back a little bit more so your legs are supporting you. It's really about the rotation more than anything. So get the rotation, open the chest. Release. Okay, so I'm going to take it up a level by adding a leg and a twist. So again, any back issues, or you don't want to be putting extra weight into your wrist, just don't take the leg back. But if you're comfortable with it, I'm going to take my right leg back and then open the right arm. So I'm going to twist my hips, put that back foot down as an anchor, and then open up. So you can see it's pretty wobbly. You can look up if you're comfortable with that, or here, or stay down if you find that's more stable. You have to re-engage all the core muscles here, and then you slowly rotate back. Come back to all fours. Really get that good position, long neck. Take your left leg back. The heel comes down, so you've got an anchor, so you're not wobbling on your toe, you've got a flat foot. And then think of opening up the hips open, then your chest opens, and then the arm. Again, it's quite a lot of muscles to recruit to be wobbling here, so this is not what you want to be doing. And again, all your weight's in one arm. You don't want to do that if you've got bad wrists, shoulders or backs. Right leg back, twist gently and open. And close. And again, lengthen back and open. And close. Come back, release. I'll do one more set to take it up another level, and again it's going to be up to you what you want to do, either keeping it small on the knees, add the leg, or just as a little challenge, we're just going to try for you in a full plank. So again, avoiding it if you've got bad shoulders, wrists or back, because going to be into one leg back, another leg back, and I'm going to cross my right leg behind my left leg, come to the side and open up. So my feet are still both on the floor, they're not stacked. Come back, rotate and down. Then the other side, cross left over right. Just twist, let the feet come to the floor. So the feet are crossed and on the floor, and back. I'm just going to do one more each side because this is pretty challenging. Last one. Let's release down, tuck in and stretch back. Wonderful stuff. Now we're just going to give these wrists a little rest. So we're done with shoulders and wrists now, you'll be pleased to know. Going to do some strengthening work for the shoulders and back, but not on all fours. Give them a little stretch. Just want to open up the chest as we've been in this position. So want to open it up. A couple of options. You could just grab your hands and stretch back. But if you're comfortable with it, you can take one arm back. Just rest on the fingertips, the other one back, and then you just push your chest up. So there's not really any weight in those fingertips, but if you don't like that, just stick to the first one. Feel the chest stretch, and then release. Wonderful. Going to lie on our tummies. My feet aren't really going to move, so you're going to cut them off a bit, but I want you to see my arms. So we're going to do a couple of exercises to really strengthen all the muscles in the back. So at some point, I might lift both legs, but I think any iffiness in your back, stick to one leg. But we're working the upper body to start with. So the arms are back here, the neck is long, and you can always really engage by squeezing your bottom. That's really going to sort of feel everything being stable. So also, what the main thing to think of with this exercise is it's not an arch, because we're trying to stabilise the spine, and you can't stabilise the spine when it's moving. So you can do this and it's stabilised, but if you start to do this, you know, if you rotate it or twist it, it's not stable anymore. So the lift is very small. Just sort of feel an extension. Shoulders are back, slide the hands forward, squeeze them back. So my rib cage is still into the floor, my knee extended, so the muscles have moved my spine, but I'm not bending it, so I'm nice and stable. We can take it up a level if we want. Can we lift one leg and continue? Don't arch the back. Don't push the tummy into the floor. So it's a small lift, it's probably only an inch off the floor. Can we release to the other leg? Again, it's optional. It's focusing more on this arms here. I'm going to add on both feet down, but can we take the arms off to start with? Really long neck, reach forward and back and forward and back. Can we lift one leg and back? Squeeze the tummy, don't push the tummy into the floor. Switch legs, lift the other one, reach and back. We've got 4 here. Then we'll try both legs and arms, but again, just stick to the arms if you've got any back problems, or if you prefer, let the head rest and just go for the legs. Just double lift the legs, 1, 2, or I'm going to do the arms as well. Legs are lifted, reach, 1, squeeze, 2, squeeze the tummy, 3, and 4. Wonderful. Relax. So sometimes if your back hurts, lifting those legs can be, you know, more painful, so just ignore it. Maybe one leg's okay. So this time I want to circle the arms. Need a bit of room here. So I'm here and I'm bringing them down like we did in our warm-up. Palms up, palms back, okay? Just give myself a bit of space. I'm going to start with the legs on the floor. Just lift here. And if you need to, have your hands just touching the floor so that you've got a bit of support. But if you can lift, squeeze the tummy, don't push into the floor. Palms together like you're clapping, and reach back. Arms back and arms up. Squeeze the bottom and up and back. If you want to try and lift one leg, you can. If you want to try and lift 2 legs, or you can just switch and do alternate legs, or you can do no legs. So I'm completely lifted, the legs are lifted, the arms are lifted, so you're working the whole of the back. But again, do avoid, if you feel anything, especially if your back hurts, don't lift both legs. One more here, and release. Go do a final one, and this is just reaching behind. Same thing, we're nice and long, your feet are going to stay on the floor for this one. Reach the hands back and just lift up slightly. And then squeeze the tummy so you're not pressing into the floor, and little pulses up, pulse. For 2. So you're really reaching back, get these shoulders away from the ears. Imagine you're trying to touch your heels. Last 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. Wonderful. Let's gently, gently come up, and again, try not to arch too much. Just a little release stretch because we've been arching the back one way slightly, so we're just giving it a rest. And again, don't forget to maybe keep it up a little bit higher, even if it feels nice. Lovely. So we're going to work our abdominals, but it's also working the legs. So again, we're going to do single legs, and we're going to increase to double, but ignoring doubles if you've got any back issues. We are sitting up, so it's not as bad as lying down because you don't get the arch, but either or, I'd still stick with one. Sitting up tall here, maybe just a little bend in the knees to start with. I'm in the S curve because I'm trying to have my natural arch in my lower back and in my neck, like you would be if you were just standing up. Breathe in here, breathe out, and then create a C curve. So I've really rounded the lower back, sucked the tummy in, then I lift up again. So it's like you're going to roll backwards, so real tuck and tilt of those hips, tuck and lift them up. That's it. I'm going to do this with straight legs now, as much as you can, coming back, lifting up. Have the hands to the side. This one is just on the fingertips, so we slide back, tuck and tilt, and you're here. So your hands are really just balancing, they don't really give you much support. Can you lift a leg and lower? Really squeeze that belly, lift a leg and lower. How high you go is up to you. And again, think of lengthening, but don't worry if your legs aren't straight, but try and avoid that sort of thing. If you have to lift them and they're here, that's fine. Try and avoid bringing the knee in, lift and lower and lift. And lower. And again, it's just gently touching with these fingers. Think of extending that leg, lengthening it. If you're not going to get cramp, you can point the foot, but you've got to listen to your own body. 4 more. Keep squeezing that tummy, squeezing it in, squeezing the pelvic floor. Last 1. Let's lift up and just lean over and relax. Supporting yourself with your hands. So we're going to do another set of those, or we're going to go for double legs. So do listen to your body. Same thing, let's have the hands here, S curve, slide back, slide back. It's quite tough with those double legs, so do listen. Also, if you're on a wooden floor, your tailbone is quite a lot of pressure on it, so make sure you're on something soft. And we're going to do 8. 1, again, just touch with the fingers. 2, stick to single legs. 3, if you need to, or if you've got back problems. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. I'm going to do one more set, but it's not both legs, it's a circle. So, similar. Sitting up, tuck and tilt and roll back. One leg, just a circle out and a circle in. Circle out, circle in. Circle out, circle in. So you're just literally drawing a sort of a half circle out, half circle in. Half circle out. It's really pulling on those abs, they're really working. Half circle out, half circle in, half circle out. And in once more each side. Last one. And then just bring one knee in, and then just use it to help you roll all the way back. And relax. Keep that knee pulled in. So we're in neutral now, neutral gap, natural gap. You don't want to be imprinted like this. Try and lengthen that leg away and let the spine pull away, and then try and pull that leg in. So we're working on the flexibility. We're lengthening this hip flexor, relaxing the neck and shoulders. The tension is just in these legs here. Let's have a little roll of the head side to side just to release any tension. Back to centre. That knee you've got pulled in, let's just pull it across the other side, but don't let yourself roll, don't lift that back. It's just a little stretch. Back to centre. Let's put that one down, let's bring the other knee in, and again let yourself be in neutral first, lengthen the other leg away and then pull this one in, and then don't let yourself tuck and tilt. Relax the neck, little look side to side. Back to centre, pull the knee in, pull it across slightly, again no lift or rolling, it's just a bit of a stretch, you're feeling it around here. Wonderful, release. Let's take the feet on the floor. I'm going to do a little bit of bridge work. I'm going to do some more abdominals, but I just want to do a little bit of work to start with. So your feet are hip width apart, and at the moment you have your natural arc in your back. So breathe in, you know, and if I'm sure we all know this, we've done it 100 times, but if you're never sure, you can always just put your fingertips, not your whole hand under your back. Breathe out and flatten your fingertips. So you feel them flatten all the way up to your ribs. So that top rib, you want to be pressing that into the floor as well as the tailbone that's here. So your whole length is pressed in. Don't just press the tailbone in. Really think about the bits of flesh either side of that spine really spreading onto the floor. So this is a lovely stretch for your lower back. This is a more safe one than a child pose because you're not bending the spine here. You're just using the abdominals to engage and you're lengthening the spine. So nice stretch to just be in and just to do any time, especially if your back needs a little stretch out. And let's breathe in and just release. Let yourself get back into neutral. So again, let's breathe in, breathe out, almost create a sort of vacuum. So imagine every part of you is squashed onto the floor, all the flesh either side of the spine, the neck is long. Few breaths here. So it should be hard just to keep this position in, just really press down. Imagine your spine is really, really heavy, and it's sort of like visualize it's a big, thick, sort of mechanical bicycle chain, and it's pushing itself into the floor. Think of it like that, and your abs are just pushing down on top of it. Let's release. This time we're going to add on. See, I even created, when I lifted then, it's already created a lovely sound, but at least I know I've really imprinted. You'll only get that if you're on a wooden floor or a hard floor with a thin mat, but you know you're really doing it. Push the back into the floor, neck is long. Let's tuck and tilt a bit more, go to lift and then peel off, keeping, imagine where your sort of shoulder blades start, the bit of spine there at the top of your ribs stays on the floor, so we never want to lift up onto just the shoulders, keep the spine down. Now let's engage the ball of the foot, and this will stop the knees flaring out. So we've engaged that, and that's going to engage the glutes. Think of your legs being lengthened that way, hands down, looking at the knees. Just a few things to remember here. Breathing in, breathe out, let's start to lower. So again, visualise that sort of heavy spine like a bicycle chain that's moving in chunks, bit by bit by bit. You've got to really tuck and tilt here to get that lower back by the ribs, then totally flatten, and the last thing you press down is the tailbone just as we come back into neutral. Let's go again. Breathe in, breathe out, flatten the back, tuck, tilt, lift, lift, lift. Keep the last ribs on the floor, ball of the foot engages, engaging the glutes, squeezing the tummy. Breathe in at the top and roll down. So this is really good for strengthening your back and your pelvic floor. It's good for pelvic stability. So a good thing to do is when you're up in the air, you can feel your back, you feel your muscles, how much they're working. Breathe in, breathe out, flatten, peel off and lift. So with your hands, Feel underneath, feel the spine, the bits of muscle either side of your spine should be really tense, and that's what's working. You can really feel it, so it's good stuff, you know, it's all working well. Let's just do a little bridge walk, and again, this should be fine for anyone, whatever your back is doing, but if you feel uncomfortable, you could maybe just lift a heel and lower, lift a heel and lower, but if you can lift the whole foot, lift up and down. Again, it could be a small lift, so you could just lift it an inch and lower. See how you feel. Engage those glutes, squeeze that bottom, lift, relax the neck. Don't grip with the hands. Use the breath. You're controlled. Squeezing everything. Squeezing the tummy. Imagine you're balancing something here on the tummy. One more. Breathe in. Let's start to roll down, tuck and tilt, flatten the back, then the small of the back, then the tailbone, and then we release. Wonderful. Bring the knee into the chest, and the other one have a roll round. So I want to do our little sciatica stretch for the leg. I don't think we need a band for this, to be honest. We're just going to do this and then stretch the hamstring. So bring your right knee into your chest and we flex the foot. Now you're going to straighten that leg as if you're kicking something away. So you really push with the heel, point and bring it back down. Flex, stretch that leg, get the back of that leg open, point and back down. If you can start to challenge yourself by getting a bit more of a stretch, pushing up to the ceiling maybe, point and lower. Again, work with your flexibility. If you need to maybe lean, you know, grab your leg. If you can get it in closer, flex, lift it up and lower, brilliant. But it's mainly getting that leg straight and flexing this sciatic nerve. So flex, point and in. Flex and straighten, point and lower. Flex, straighten, point and lower. Two more. Flex, straighten. Sometimes I'm using my hand to support my leg. One more. Lovely. Now let's just get the legs straight. Don't worry about the flexing of the foot. Let's get that leg straight up if we can. And feel the back of that knee open. So we're engaging these muscles here so that the ones at the back relax. That's what we want to do. Use, you know, grab onto your trouser leg, anything you need. If you've got a wall, you can stick it there. Anything that's going to help you get that leg straight. You know, you could have your leg rested on a chair. Just get it straight. If you can get it up here, wonderful. Breathe in, breathe out, just ease it in a bit. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, ease it in a bit. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, ease it in a bit, hold. Now see if you can get a little flex in that foot just to increase that stretch. But again, work with your body. If you just get the leg straight, that's fine. But if you can do that and a flex, wonderful. You know, that's about my level. You haven't got to have your leg right in at your face. Just feel that stretch, that's what we want. Take the leg diagonally across, just slightly, wonderful. Again, head and shoulders relaxed, and we're not imprinted, we're in neutral. Wonderful. Whilst we're here, release. Let's cross that ankle over the knee. Pick up the legs, bring them in, give yourself a hug. So again, really good stretches for lower back. This also is a good anti-sort of sciatica stretch. Our hips get very tight, so this is helping to loosen those. And you can do this sat in a chair as well. So if you do have a job where you sit in a chair, try and cross your legs and have a little stretch of this throughout the day. And then let's take the foot down. So if you've got back issues, I think probably 2 feet together and the knees, and just see how you feel if with a very gentle stretch. Otherwise, you can have the ankle on the knee and let the legs fall to the side. The legs are heavy and this is quite an intense stretch on the back. So if your back's feeling a little bit tender, a really intense stretch like this is not going to be great. So just keep the knees together, keep it small. Otherwise, both shoulders down. My legs are to the left, so I'm looking over my right shoulder, down the arm, just having a little stretch there. I'm going to bring my head back to centre. I'm using my left foot to help push my legs back up rather than trying to drag them. Again, you've got a real twist in the spine. So you want to try not to put too much weight on it when you're moving it. Then gently let the legs come to the other side. You might have cushions and things around you to support. Again, do what is comfortable for your body. And look into the left. So do some more workouts for the obliques and the waist in a moment. It's another new exercise, and we've got lots of different levels to do it at, so something for everyone. Come back to centre and gently untangle those legs. Let's do the sciatica stretch on the left leg. So I'm going to bring the knee in, flex the foot, push the leg away, point and lower. Flex, push, point and lower. Flex, push, point and lower. This is another one some people do in a chair. If you just put sciatic nerve stretch into YouTube, you'll see this is almost the same thing done sat in a chair. So if your back hurts and you can't face getting on the floor, those sort of stretches will really help. Hopefully you won't hurt yourself so that happens, but we have days where we all get stiff sometimes. Let's do one more. Flex, stretch, point and lower. Now just a normal hamstring stretch. So I'm just going to get the leg straight, let the leg ankle be relaxed. Breathing in, make sure you're in neutral spine, so don't tuck and tilt. Breathe out, ease it in a bit. Breathe in, release it. Breathe out, ease it in a bit. Should feel a bit looser. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, ease it in. Can we hold it here? And again, support your leg how you need to. Can we start to have a little flex just to increase the stretch a bit more? Breathing into it. These are long muscles, big muscles. They need a lot of oxygen. Let's cross the ankle over the knee. Bring those legs in, stretching out our hips, our glutes. Wonderful. Let's then put the foot down. Again, any back issues, just both feet down and knees down, and just gently let them move over all the way if you're comfortable. Otherwise, keeping the ankle locked on the knee, and the legs go over to the right, and then I'm going to look to the left, keeping the shoulders down. Back to the centre. Let's bring these knees up, keeping the leg ankle on that foot, gently, gently the other way. And once you're there, let's look over that right shoulder, down that arm. And gently back to centre. Let's bring these legs up. Release them down. Wonderful. Turning over onto the side. So again, we're going to be working our obliques here. Got a couple of options. You can do this one lying down on the arm or having a little cushion. So that's one option. We're going to be lifting the legs, but you might find if you've got shoulder issues, you prefer to be here. I'm going to do it on here. So I'm just elbow under shoulder and resisting the urge not to sink into it. So we're going to squeeze here and lift. You've got to maintain that the whole time. So if that's going to be difficult, just lie down. The legs are the same. Straighten them out and they're in front of you. So kind of like a banana. So whether you're here or you're up, your legs are curved and they're stacked on top of each other. So remember, if you're lifted, squeeze here. It's a good visual to grab yourself and feel that you've lifted up. So you have to engage the waist. We are going to, the top hand is here, but I'm going to remove that as another add-on. Your top leg, it's going to bend in like this. I'm trying to get it to the back of this arm. In and out, kick it up. and down. So yes, it feels like you're working your leg, but you're also really working these oblique muscles. You're working the waist underneath because you want to hold yourself, and you're working your flexibilities. There's a lot going on, so if you're not that flexible, you might find lying down easier. And don't worry about how high you kick your leg, just get the knee up and then just get your leg lengthened. Keep lifted. Lift. If you want a little challenge, maybe take that hand off, so you're really having to balance here. So it's almost like elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Same thing, said in a different way, but you know what I mean. Try and get the knee at the back of your elbow if you have got your elbow up. Knee and leg, release, well done. So we're working the leg as well, a lot going on here. I'm going to do another set. We're going to take it up a level. It's optional, you can stay where you are, or I'm just rolling back slightly so I can lift both legs. It's only a few inches, but now I've had to really engage the tummy. So I'm still trying to lift up in the shoulder. The legs are lifted, same thing. Knee out, kick and down. Try not to sink into the shoulder, so your abs are engaged. Last 4, can we have the arms? That's your final one. So do work where you're comfortable with. Keep lifted in that shoulder, don't sink. We've got 3 more here. Should be feeling this now in that waist. Sort of in the oblique muscles. Oh, it's a tough one. Last 1. And release. Let's just quickly do a chest opener. So from here, I'm going to bring my knees in and I am going to lie down. If you've got a pillow, you can use that, or you can just lean on your arm. And we're going to take this arm and open it up. I haven't got the room, so I'm just going to take the hands to my head. And close. The main thing is knees heavy, knees together. And we're trying to, like we did at the beginning on all 4s, we're trying to get rotation in the spine. So feel don't try and twist much. You know, we don't want to over twist the spine. Let's hold this last one. Wonderful, release. I'm gently going to lift myself up and I'm going to switch sides. So we can be on the elbow, or we can be lying down. A bit cushioning for my arm. Legs out, bring them forward. And again, hand under here, lift yourselves up. So you're really working the waist, open chest. Going to bring the knee in. Kick it up, also close to that bed. Down to kick it. That's the sort of person I am. In and up. Wonderful. In and up. If you want, take the hand off and up. And you might notice one side, try not to kick your elbow like I just did. Try and get it behind. Maybe you're not getting it that far, don't worry. Don't sink into that shoulder. Use those abs to lift you up. 3 more. It's quite tough pushing that leg up like that, really strengthening the legs here. Got a lot going on. 1 more. Woo, you can sink, relax. If you want to, same set, or roll back, lift the legs. So again, you know, any lower back things are not great with leg lifting. We are curved, so you're probably less at risk, but if you're not sure, I'll just stick to one leg on the floor. And continue. Lift up, and leg, and kick, and leg, and kick. You have to keep the momentum slow. So if it's too quick, you're going to sink in the shoulder. So you have to do it slowly and controlled. Can we take the hand off for the last 4? One more, well done, really good effort. Bring those knees in, let's come down. Just a little chest opener. Again, you can lean in that arm. Knees heavy, knees together. Open up. And using the space that you have. This is just as effective. You're still opening up. So one more. Hold it here. Wonderful. Very gently. Going to come over. I want to come onto our tummies to do a spine stretch. Now this is not like a yoga stretch. This is not a cobra at all. And if you're comfortable, you've just got your elbows under here and you're just holding here. Because we spend so much time bending forward. This is an arch, but it's just very gentle. If that feels a lot, just bring your arms here further. It's just a very gentle, safe stretch for the spine. Trying to be lifted so we're not collapsed. But you've got to listen to your vertebra in your back. I'm not a fan of the yoga stretch, you know, when people do that. I just think that's so uncomfortable for me. You've got so many vertebrae in your lower back, and if you've got so many nerves and stuff, I just find that's kind of asking them to be squashed. But this is just nice and gentle. It's a nice little stretch. To add on to this, you can just bend a leg, so you're stretching your hip flexor as well. And release. It's nice and gentle. And if this was still too much, just have the head down and just kick the legs. It's a double leg kick, so we want to do kick, kick and down. Kick, kick and down. Still thinking about your neckline, so we don't want to be up here. You don't want to drop your head either. So you're just sort of, as you would with all the exercises, squeezing the tummy, little kick. Want a bit of coordination? Can we flex? Flex. So we're thinking about the ankles. I'm going to do a flex and a point. Flex, point, lower. Flex, point, lower. It's just to get in your coordination. If you're flexing twice or you're pointing twice, don't worry. It's just trying to get your brain in tune with your body. And it means we're giving these ankles a little workout. A bit of foot flexion, plantar flexion. Lovely release. Very gently in your own time. Let's come into a relaxing position. So you might find, especially if your back is sore, feet bent is a nice one, rather than lengthened all the way out. But whatever works for you, on your side, on your front, maybe palms up. And just relax here. I'm going to change the music and we're going to go into a little bit of a cool down. So let's breathe in a little bit through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's take one more deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth and close the eyes. And then let's just think of our breath. Feeling the breath coming through the nose. Feeling it on the nostrils, feeling it hit the back of the throat. And just feeling the air, feel your lungs, feeling your diaphragm expand, your belly lift and fall. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And thinking about your face. Is there any tension between your eyes, in your brow? Just sense it melt away. Take a little breath. Just breathe into the face muscles and let them relax. Then thinking about underneath the eyes, into the cheeks, down into the jaw. Is there any tension? Can we relax? And just having a little scan of your body, down your shoulders, down your arms, down your hands, down the back of your shoulder blades, your spine, your hips, your legs, your ankles, your knees, your toes. And just sensing anything that's there and just accepting it, breathing into it and just relax. And taking a moment to think about something that you're grateful for. So this morning, when you woke up, could have been today, could have been yesterday, something that you're really grateful for. So you might feel grateful that you woke up this morning, or that you were able to see a loved one, or that you were able to go to work, you were able to purchase something, you were able to just make your favourite drink, anything that just made you feel grateful. The small things in life that just you're grateful for. And just hang on to that thought and how it made you feel. And just hang on to that grateful feeling, a nice feeling of well-being, that you've done something for yourself. It may even be gratefulness that you were able to do something for others. And try for the rest of this week and forever to wake up every day and just have one moment of the day where you can just be grateful for one thing. Just spend a minute or two contemplating that. It will help for sort of well-being and fulfillment. And then just having those nice thoughts and feelings in your mind and body, take a moment to just relax. Let's start to bring our awareness back to our breath, back to our body. Breathing in through the nose, sensing the air rushing past the nostrils, how that feels. Filling the belly with air and the lungs. Maybe a little look side to side. A little twitch of the nose. A wiggle of the fingers. A little bit of movement in the toes. And then maybe circle the wrists. Circle the ankles. And then a little full stretch. A little stretch as if you're just waking up. Stretch into the parts of the body you want to. And gently placing both feet on the floor. And then bring one knee into the chest. Then the other knee. And a little rock from side to side. A little roll round of those knees, just massaging the lower back. And then gently roll onto your right hand side. Keeping those eyes closed if you can, coming into child pose. Just a gentle, gentle child pose. Opening the eyes when you're here, just let that light in gently. And then very gently come into a seated position. Something that's comfortable. And we'll take some breaths to finish. Lovely. And again. One more lovely deep breath. And out. And give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much, everybody. And hope to see you for real.